Namaskar.
Swamiji, pranam.
Namaskar. Yes.
My little doubt. This deep sleep state is compared to bliss sheath in Panchkosh Vivek. But sleep comes from Tamo guna. Why it is named bliss?
Well, there is bliss in the deep sleep.
Yeah, that is correct.
Because Sukham Hamaswapsam, I slept well. The only thing is there is a difference between the deep sleep and bliss sheath. Definitely, big difference. What is there in both the experiences is bliss or ananda, happiness. Except in deep sleep state, there is the veil of ignorance. In the Anandamaya Kosha or bliss sheath, there is awareness. Anandamaya Kosha is characterized by Sattva Guna, whereas the deep sleep is characterized by Tamo Guna. But the experience is the same. We are experiencing the self or the bliss in both the states, except that in one state, deep sleep state, I'm not aware that I'm experiencing that. In the Anandamaya Kosha bliss sheath, I'm aware that I'm experiencing. So there is a huge difference of day and night. But deep sleep is presented more as an example of bliss sheath rather than bliss sheath itself. It's an example. The bliss is, however...
Here lies the doubt, because bliss is a great word. It's a false bliss. It's actually false bliss, which we experience in deep sleep. It's not actually bliss. It cannot be bliss. It is ignorance. So ignorance is the lowest thing, and we highlight it as a bliss. That makes a confusion, little doubt in the mind.
It is bliss with ignorance, not only ignorance, and not only bliss. Okay. Deep sleep state is bliss with ignorance, meaning that there is experience of bliss, but I do not know that I'm experiencing. Right now also, I'm experiencing the self, which is bliss. I do not know. You follow? Ignorance deprives me of the recognition of what I'm experiencing. That's called ignorance. So in the deep sleep state, there is this veil of ignorance. What is this bliss? You cannot, there's nothing other than bliss, really. Atma is bliss. I'm always experiencing that in all states.
Is it not false? Is it not false bliss?
No, it's not false bliss. It is bliss without recognition, without being aware of it. Because what do you mean by false bliss? False bliss means sorrow. You don't see you experience sorrow in a deep sleep state.
No, worldly pleasures, what they are.
But we are not, because worldly pleasure requires the operation of sense organs with the objects of the world. Deep sleep state, sense organs are not functioning. Therefore, I'm not experiencing world at that time. The only thing that I can experience is myself. Except at that time, there is a veil of ignorance, therefore, I'm not aware that I'm experiencing myself. But other than myself, the gross world, the subtle world, all of that is dropped. So, what you are experiencing is always bliss. With gross body, with subtle body, that dropped. Therefore, now there is nothing between you and bliss other than veil of ignorance. Therefore, that state is very close to the bliss sheath. That's what I gave as an example. in what we call bliss sheath. For Anandamaya Kosha, this awareness of that bliss, that veil of ignorance is essentially gone. There is sattva. Whereas one in deep sleep there is tamas, in the bliss sheath there is sattva. One is darkness, other there is light. So bliss sheath is very close to the knowledge. But there also I am not quite aware that what I am experiencing is myself. I am experiencing bliss. Recognizing that bliss is myself is called knowledge. Not recognized is called sheath. There is no false bliss. There is only bliss. There is awareness of bliss or lack of awareness. That's the difference.
Got it.
Yes. Okay.